The Dallas Cowboys are back in the headlines, and this time the focus is on a big-name target, George Pickens. But before we dive into the latest news, let me remind you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with your friends, and of course, hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Now, let's get into it. Jerry Jones recently addressed the team's salary cap situation, and according to him, Dallas has the flexibility to afford a George Pickens extension. His words were confident: "We've built an outstanding structure in our cap space that allows us to do things we didn't think possible a year ago." And surprisingly, he's right. For once, Jerry isn't just sugarcoating things. The Cowboys' projected cap space sits at around $4.9 million, according to Spotrac. Over-the-cap's numbers differ slightly, but the truth is, neither figure tells the whole story. What matters most is the Cowboys' ability to restructure contracts, starting with Dak Prescott. That single move alone could free up roughly $30.9 million. So while the raw number looks tight, Dallas has plenty of options. And if George Pickens is truly on the radar, the money can absolutely be made available. The Cowboys have a mountain of options when it comes to freeing up salary cap space, and that's what makes the George Pickens talk even more realistic. Let's break it down. Restructuring CeeDee Lamb's contract would free up about $19 million. Doing the same with Osa Odighizuwa opens another $12 million. And if they decide to restructure Tyler Smith, that's an additional $17.6 million. It doesn't stop there. Darren Bland could bring in around $8.6 million, and while that move would depend on his performance, it's still on the table. Jake Ferguson could also free up nearly $5 million, not massive, but every bit counts. Then come the bigger decisions. Terrence Steele could be restructured or even cut post-June 1, potentially saving over $14 million. Trayvon Diggs? A restructure there saves between $8.80 and $12.5 million. And if the Cowboys were to restructure Kenny Clark, that's about $9.6 million, or more if they went the extension route. Even cutting Malik Hooker would clear around $7 million. Put all of this together, and the Cowboys could realistically generate between $126 million and $148 million in cap space. That's massive. At the very least, Dallas can comfortably clear $100 million without breaking a sweat. So here's the bottom line: if the Cowboys want George Pickens, there's absolutely nothing in the way financially. The only question is, will Jerry Jones actually pull the trigger, and will Pickens still be wearing the star in 2026? Here's the big question for Cowboys Nation: should Dallas push for a George Pickens extension right now, yes or no? Drop a Y for yes or N for no in the comments below, because this debate is heating up. Now, here's where things stand. While I believe Pickens deserves to be in Dallas long-term, I don't expect a mid-season extension to happen, and honestly, there are good reasons on both sides. From what we've seen this year, George Pickens has been impressive. He's been impactful, he's been consistent, and he's proving he belongs as a difference maker. But if you're looking at it from his perspective, there's no reason to rush. His agent, David Mulugheta, will absolutely be pushing for top-tier wide receiver money. That means somewhere in the range of $25 to $28 million per year. Why that number? Because it lines up perfectly with what the projected 2026 franchise tag for wide receivers is expected to be, right in that $26 to $28 million ballpark. So, if you're George Pickens and his camp, why sign early unless you're getting that exact figure? And if you're the Cowboys, maybe you want to let the season play out. After all, how much higher could his price really go compared to the tag? This is a standoff where both sides are playing it smart. The only question is, will Dallas lock him down now, or risk pushing this decision further down the road? One name starting to buzz around Cowboys Nation right now is Jalen Brooks. After being inactive for the first 4 weeks, could his time finally be coming? Offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer seems to think so. He recently said Brooks is close to making an impact. According to him, the young wideout has been practicing extremely well, showing consistency, speed, and playmaking ability. In fact, Schottenheimer even admitted Brooks has become one of their best practice squad players, pushing the defense with his energy every single rep. But here's the question, is this real progress, or just more coach speak? We've heard the staff praise players before only for them to never truly break through. Cowboys fans want to know if Brooks is the real deal, or if he's just another name that gets hyped up in practice but never translates under the lights. If he does get his shot, his speed and physical tools could add another layer to this offense. But with the Cowboys' depth chart stacked, Brooks has to prove he belongs when the opportunity comes. Here's the reality, NFL coaches praise players all the time, but that doesn't always mean those players actually see the field. So Cowboys Nation, let's put it to a vote, will Jalen Brooks finally play this week? Type 1 for yes or 0 for no down in the comments. One factor that could swing things in Brooks' favor is the status of Miles Sanders, who's dealing with an injury. The Cowboys are hopeful he'll be able to go, but until the official report comes out, it's something to keep an eye on. Even if Sanders only misses a couple practices, that might be enough for Schottenheimer to finally give Brooks his shot. Of course, Hunter Luepke can handle pass protection duties if the staff isn't ready to trust Brooks in that area. But if you want explosive playmaking and a true change of pace weapon, Brooks gives you exactly that. We saw flashes of his big play ability back at Texas. Yes, the fumbling was an issue, but the explosiveness was undeniable. Now, let's be clear, Brooks isn't about to overtake Javonte Williams as RB1. Williams has been outstanding this season, especially fighting through contact. But pairing his physical, punishing style with Brooks' speed could give the Cowboys a true thunder and lightning combo. The question is simple, will the Cowboys actually give him that chance? When it comes to the Cowboys' offense, Jalen Brooks still feels like the wild card. He's that explosive, change of pace weapon who can catch passes out of the backfield and create big plays in an instant. Whether he finally gets the chance this week is still up in the air, but it's something every Cowboys fan is watching closely. Now, shifting gears, let's talk about the cornerback situation. The Miami Dolphins released Cam Smith, their 2023 draft pick out of South Carolina, and he'll now go through waivers. Coming out of college, Smith had size, speed, and length that looked promising. But in Miami? It was a disaster. In 2024, when he finally saw the field, Smith allowed 15 catches on 20 targets for 169 yards. He struggled in coverage, looked lost in Vic Fangio's scheme, and ultimately became one of the bigger draft busts in recent years. Right now, it's hard to argue he deserves anything more than maybe a practice squad look, and even that feels like a stretch. As for Dallas, cornerback depth has been shaky. Darren Bland is working back to full strength, Trayvon Diggs has been limited, and others like Kalen Carson and Nashan Wright are waiting to return from injured reserve. So while the Cowboys could take a flyer on Smith, the reality is his NFL tape has been rough, very rough. On the roster shuffle side, Buddy Johnson has been signed away by the Colts, leaving Dallas with one less linebacker option. And in a surprise move, wide receiver Parris Campbell is back. He had a brief stint with the team in 2024 before injuries derailed his run, but now he rejoins the Cowboys on the practice squad. The question is, will any of these depth moves actually matter down the stretch, or are they just names being shuffled in and out of the door?